Hello, everyone, and welcome to my podcast, Schooling in a Pandemic. My name is Olivia Duzett, and I'm your host. I'm currently a student at Brighton High School, so pretty much I'll be talking about some of my firsthand experiences of going to school in a pandemic with the experiences of others, too. Today, we'll be talking to our guests about the struggles of teaching school and learning in school with mandatory masks. As a student, I recognize some new struggles to learning because of masks, like not being able to hear, not being heard, and teachers not realizing the confusion in the room. First, we are going to talk with student Amanda Fordham. Amanda is a senior at Brighton High School and is on the girls' soccer team. Thank you so much for joining me today, Amanda.
Of course, I'm happy to be here.
So you're currently in school, right?
Yes, I am.
In person?
Yeah.
Awesome. And do you have a preferred mask?
For outside of school, especially if we're going to soccer, I really like to wear a gaiter. I just think it's easier to pull it down or back up a lot faster. But then for school, I like to wear the masks that are just from Target. I think they're really nice.
Nice. I've heard those ones sound good.
What about you? Do you have a favorite mask?
I like those ones from Athleta, but let me tell you, not all masks are created equal, and I had to find that out the hard way.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, with your teachers and yourself wearing masks, do you find it harder to learn?
I think sort of. I think it's for sure harder to hear people and get instructions. I think you have to rely a lot more on body language and nonverbal communication types of things, mostly.
Right. So what would you say is the biggest challenge to learning?
I think hearing people for sure and getting all of the information from them.
Yeah, I feel that. I've definitely had to talk to teachers and tell them to talk louder. So how do you think teachers can improve their teaching with masks on?
I think for one, teachers shouldn't be yanking down their masks when they're talking to the whole class. That kind of defeats the whole purpose.
Right.
But actually making sure they're wearing microphones while they're teaching, so that no matter where they are in the room, you can hear them well, and then virtually students can hear them well also. My psychology teacher, Miss Clayton, she uses a microphone, and I think it really helps being able to get instructions. I also think teachers wearing face shields would be a really good idea.
Can you expound on that a little?
I know the ASL class does that. They wear face shields so they can just read lips while they're signing, and I think that kind of proves that it will work.
Right. So you have actual teachers doing these things, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So it's obviously something that's accessible.
Definitely.
So do you think there's anything the students can do to help?
I think not really. I think it's mostly on the teachers at this point. I don't know if there's something I can do in particular that would really benefit everyone.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you so much, Amanda, for your time and your responses. Is there anything else you would like to add?
I think I've said all I wanted to say. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. I think the biggest takeaway from my conversation with Amanda is that it is so much harder to hear teachers, but some teachers have taken that into consideration and have already found some solutions that have been working. Now let's take Amanda's ideas and perspective and see what a teacher has to say about it. We are going to talk with Miss Hatch, who teaches photography, commercial art, ceramics, and drawing at Brighton High School. Thank you so much for joining me today, Miss Hatch.
Yes, no problem.
So you currently teach in person right now?
I do. So I offer all my classes in person, and I have a Google Meet running, so several students do take it, though, at home.
Perfect. And how long have you been teaching, and what is your teaching style?
So this is my 7th year teaching, my 3rd year at Brighton. For the most part, being an art teacher, I'll introduce a project towards the beginning of the week and then give the kids time to work on it. And so I'll stand at the front and lecture, and then the rest of the week is usually walking around the classroom helping individual students on their projects.
Awesome. And what is one thing that you now struggle with because you have to teach in a mask?
So from the teacher perspective, I've noticed that masks that I feel like are more comfortable on my face, that are a little bit thicker of cotton, are harder for the students to hear me in. They sound a little bit more muffled. And then I've also noticed that since we've been wearing masks, I feel like there's a lot more students talking in class, and I can't tell who it is because I can't see their mouths moving.
Right, I didn't even think of that. What is one thing that you think could be done either by you, students, or administration that could help you fix these problems?
Teaching in a mask is just really hard, so sometimes I always feel like it'd be easier to teach in a face shield, or I'm behind my plexiglass. So taking off your mask, I feel like would help students to sometimes better understand the project. I feel like then they pay attention more to you because they're watching your facial expressions.
Right.
And so that would be a lot nicer, especially because I'm only teaching like 10 minutes in front of the room and then put the mask back on as I walk through and help the students.
Right, yeah. A student suggested wearing a microphone would help the students be able to hear teachers better. Do you think that's an effective solution that you and your fellow teachers could implement?
So I think that overall, I'm kind of a loud person, so I probably don't need a microphone. However, my students are either facing a computer or their project when they're asking for help, so that's what they're looking at, not me. And so especially quiet ones, I can't hear the students at all. So I wish that they had something to like amplify their voice to make it easier, because sometimes it's hard to hear them without a mask, and then with the mask on, it's almost impossible.
Right. Thank you for your thoughts and time. As other perspectives hear these thoughts, I hope they will take into consideration what you said. Do you have anything else you would like to add?
Not that I can think of right now. I just hope that one day we'll be maskless.
Yes, thank you so much. That was some great insight from both of our guests. I think the overall message of how we can improve the school system with masks is to just get rid of them. Just kidding. In reality, I think that teachers should wear microphones when lecturing all day, which is an accessible option. I wish teachers who have minimal instruction time could just wear a face shield for students to better hear them, but due to government mandates, that is not an accessible option right now. Lastly, I think that students need to be more self-aware and talk louder when addressing their teachers. Learning and teaching in masks is just one struggle of pandemic education, but I hope we can all take these new ideas into consideration as students and teachers to have a better experience. Thanks for listening to Schooling in a Pandemic. I hope to catch you on our next episode about online learning. Olivia out.